Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to the Wheeler Detailers YouTube channel. My name is Martin and in this video we're going to talk about brushes. A lot of brushes. Because all you detailers know that a good set of brushes is super important. Let's go. When we designed the dcon line of products approximately 3 to 4 years ago, we really took notice on accessories and especially brushes. Because good brushes are important, and that means not a brush for one-way use, but a brush that you can rinse and clean after use and reuse time over time again, and that has a long longevity. And with that, it's part of your arsenal and you need to trust on it. So when you're mobile or in your garage, you need to have your clean working tools under reach, and you need to trust them that they are in good condition and they can be used with good performance to give good results to your customers' cars and trucks. You see quite some arsenal in front of me and I want to go through them. So we start here from left to right. So we start at the exterior and slowly we're going to go to interior brushes. And by the way, all these brushes can be found on the Carcare 24 EU website. When you go to specialties and kits, tools, accessories and brushes, there you see a total of 104 brushes listed. So there are quite a couple. So we're going to start with a big one. It's the dcon telescopic extendable wash brush soft. Standard, it's got a length of 1.30 meters. And by opening these clips, you can actually extend it completely to 4.60 meters. It's long. So, do you need this for cars? No. But if you do a lot of trucks and buses, then an extendable wash brush can be very nice, because it helps you to work from the sides on roof parts and higher parts of trucks, especially to give them a good wash and where you can actually also reach them. So the nylon hairs here are, I would say, soft to medium. So the idea with a wash brush like this is, as you also would do with your wash mitt or sponge, you've got two buckets, one for rinsing, one for washing. You're going to take up some suds from your washing bucket. So you're going to agitate the surface and wash and let the soft nylon hairs do the agitation. And then after a certain area, rinse them out in your rinsing bucket. Make sure to scrape it and scrub it over the mid-slide in the bucket. And then you go from there. If you don't want to work with the nylon bristles, and some people, I can understand why. Sometimes you've got trucks with special paint, for example, or airbrush effects. Then we have these sleeves, these brush covers that you can slip over. And then you're going to use this microfiber chenille brush cover to wash the areas around your car. Super easy. And after use, you can just put the brush cover in the washing machine and then wash it without softener and then let it air dry so you can have a clean one for the next wash. Then we're gonna come to wheels. So we got quite some wheel brushes and I chose my favorite ones, which are the wheel woolies. You can purchase them in a set or separately as you like. And the wheel woolies are only microfiber brushes that have a length. And with that, you have them as large, as medium, and as small. They are perfect to clean the wheel bed from the inside. Often what I do, first I'm gonna use a pre-cleaner on the car, then I will foam the car up. And in the meantime, when the foam has to drip down, then I'll start working on the wheel arches and on the wheels. So I can rinse it all off and have that part already done. During the washing process. These are the straight ones. There are also bended ones. I'll come to that later for the calipers. Ideally, I would have a separate bucket, also with a mid-slide, that I would only use for wheels. Why? Because if we wash wheels, then we release a lot of metal particles, brake dust, and brake dust can be quite sharp and edgy. And if we would use the same buckets for our paint, then we can potentially also install some swirls and some minor paint defects on the paint. And preventing is always better than curing. So this is why we use a separate bucket only for wheels. So we start with putting on a wheel cleaner on the wheels. We let the wheel cleaner cure. Then we're gonna wet it up in our rinsing bucket and we're gonna start agitating the wheel bed's surface. Now, very important is also to come diagonally behind the spokes if you need to. And also if your wheel has a certain edge around it, then you also maybe want to use a finger wash mitt to wash and clean the edges behind the spokes as well. Ideally, I would highlight the smallest one, this one. A lot of performance cars, you see large brake discs and with that also large brake calipers. And with that, there's often only a very narrow gap between the wheel bed surface and the area where the brake caliper ends. And often only the smallest wheel woolly, the smallest brush, can fit in there to clean that part as well. So if it doesn't fit, then you would have to move the car, I would say, let's say half a meter, to have that edge free where you can agitate it as well. But hopefully also the smallest wheel woolly can work here for you as well. I would say in 8 out of 10 times this would fit, and the other 2 times you would need to remove the car for half a meter and then do it from there. As mentioned, you can purchase them as a set of 3, so you have large, medium and small all together, or just separately as you wish. Then here you've got the wheel woolies as a set of 2, small and medium, which are bended like this. And with this, they are ideally to use to clean brake calipers if you got space around them to actually also clean them. Then we also have 2 nylon brushes. This is the small one, the red rocket brush. This is the little one. We also have a big one. And these nylon brushes are a little bit harder and stiffer. Are they then also suitable for the wheels? Well, if the wheels need to be scrubbed clean, and that's the important factor, and they are not black, then I would say, yeah, you can actually choose these. If you've got black painted wheels, this will also leave some scratches because it's quite hard. But it's ideally if you've got some wheels with some hard varnish on them, some hard clear coat, and then you can also scrub them clean, ideally. So for daily drivers, not show cars, this can also be of use. And there's also a big one as well. Then for the front side of the wheel, this is my favorite one. So this is the dcon medium duty wheel and body brush. It's a very soft, long bristled brush. And with that, it's perfectly to glide over the spokes on the outside of the wheel. Also, if you've got some space between the spokes and you need to make a turning movement, this really works very comfortable. And since it's quite big, you can also work on quite some surface. Of course, after use, half a wheel, you would scrub it clean in your rinsing bucket again and then clean after and do the rest of the wheel as well. Then we've got the dcon body and wheel brush with a long handle, as you can see here. And I think this is an ideal brush to also have available in your wheel bucket with your wheel brushes. But this one you're going to use to scrub the wheel arches clean, behind the wheels and the tires, and make sure you're going to scrub there as well. Often this brush will go together with the dcon orange cleaner and degreaser concentrate, which you then can dilute 1 to 5. And this really helps to scrub and loosen stubborn dirt, oxidation, road grime, tire deposits from your wheel arches as well. And also here, as with all the other brushes, regularly clean them over the slide in your rinsing bucket. Then we go to brushes for tires, starting with the big blue stiffy tire brush. This is a gray plastic handle with hard blue nylon hairs. This is you're going to use, let's say, on dirty tires, so tires with a lot of brown debris on them. You're going to scrub that clean with dcon's tire and trim cleaner, and also use this in a rinsing brush. These brushes are hard, and with that they can scrub perfectly on the rubber surface. And this is a little bit a larger brush, and that larger brush is perfectly also for tire walls that are a little bit larger. So you often find these on 4x4 cars, pickup trucks, large SUVs. Since the nylon bristles are a little bit harder here, this can splatter a little bit. So if you're agitating the surface, yeah, my advice is always not to wear a white shirt and also not to wear new clothes. You can get a little bit dirty. The same sort of hard bristles we also find on the Nifty brush. This is actually a brush designed for carpets, but since it's so small and a lot of people have let's say low profile tires, the blue stiffy brush is just too large and you would potentially also scratch your wheel edge with that. Therefore, this smaller brush is ideally. So the idea is the same: spray in the dcon tire and trim cleaner in the brush or on the tire wall, start agitating, and then you can often see in the foam that you're creating from the tire cleaner, the foam gets completely brown and gray and dirty. You rinse it off and you just scrub until the foam stays clean, stays white. And of course, you're gonna agitate it over the mid-slide in your bucket regularly to loosen all that taken off debris and brake dust. So then we got 3 types of carpet brushes. These are the dcon machine spinning carpet brushes. We've got a yellow one, we've got a white/gray one, and we've got a green one. The green one is the hardest, the yellow is the medium, and the white one is the softest. You can put these in your battery-powered drill, and you can use these to clean, let's say, convertible tops, floor mats, for example, dirty seats when coffee is spilled, for example. We also made a video a while ago that we cleaned a convertible top that hasn't been cleaned from an Audi, that hasn't been cleaned for over 10 years. You could also see actually how this brush works. So the idea is the same. Spray in our cleaner, in this case it was APC, and then with the battery power we're gonna make lines and we're gonna agitate it over the surface to loosen all that embedded debris, grime, dirt that has been building up over those 10 years in the fabric material of the convertible top. And often from one time agitating it's just not enough, so you have to often clean and rinse this over the mid-slide in your bucket to make sure that the surface is clean, where you can work with in this case on the area that you want to clean the convertible top. So I think we have to check the video again, but I think we did the convertible top 3 or 4 times to actually get to a decent level of clean and have it in good condition again for the customer. Then we have the dcon nice and stiff interior brush yellow. This is a little bit a larger one, and I would say this one is really perfect to clean, for example, winter or WeatherTech rubber floor mats. The bristles here are a little bit more loose than in the other ones that we showed you until so far. There's less bristles, I would say, in the head of the brush, but and they are a little bit more loose, so you can slide and glide them easier around. And in that case, they're perfectly for, let's say, rubber or hard texture plastic materials that you can find in and around the car. So I would say next to the winter WeatherTech floor mats, you could also ideally use them if you've got some cover line, if you've got a pickup truck and you've got this plastic lining in them, and you want to clean that out once in a while as well. This is a perfect brush to do that for you. Then we've got a dcon convertible top horsehair cleaning brush. This is a very soft and gentle brush. You can also hear it, and I glide it over my hand. The hairs are a little bit shorter, but very, very soft. So if you have a relatively new convertible top and you just want to give it a mild clean, this may work perfect for you. Then we've got more than one very, very, very soft brushes. So if you have got like interiors with some high gloss black finishes, also sometimes called as piano black finishes or Klavierlack in Germany. Yeah, you don't want to scratch around there, the least risk as possible. Yeah, then these kind of brushes are perfect for that. So then you got the ultra soft car detailing brushes as a 2-pack, or some other ones we've got more as one from dcon. They're super soft. And what you do with that is as well, you spray in a little bit of all-purpose cleaner in the hairs of your brush, agitate the surface, and then you wipe down the surface with a wet, wrung out towel, short pad, and then you're good to go and clean. And often as well, as with every cleaning cycle, you're gonna agitate this over the mid-slide in a bucket, or you're gonna rinse them out after use. Then we've got 2 scrubbing sponges / mitts. We are completely fond of these ones. The hairs are a little bit short. I wouldn't say they are stiff, but they are stiff enough to get rid of and to clean, let's say, a lot of like skin grease. And sometimes, you just pull your nose or wipe your face, and from there you're gonna go to your steering wheel again, to some knobs on the dashboard or on the gear lever, or on the door handle opener. And often around these areas, the armrest, there's a lot of glossy parts, which weren't glossy when the car was new. And then over time, this builds up, and you've got like, sometimes on the steering wheel, certain parts that are shiny. Or you have got like a door handle that is shiny, or one armrest that's very shiny. And shiny things, often in the interior, mean they are dirty. The idea is the same. We work with dcon's CIA interior cleaner, or with dcon's all-purpose cleaner, and then I think 1 to 10 diluted. Then we've got 2 parts. We call them the dcon all details brushes. We've got 1 set for the interior and 1 set for the exterior. They both come as a set of 3, large, medium and small, and they are very soft. So they aren't as soft as the ultra soft brushes, but they still are quite soft. So where can you use these for? Cleaning the door steps when you enter the door, often where the logos from the brands are there. Cleaning window frames from the inside. Cleaning seats, leather seats, or vinyl seats, for example. And the same goes for the exterior. Same size, large, medium, and small. And these are a little bit harder than the gray interior ones that we just saw. And these are perfect to clean the tank filler cap around or on the license plates. If you've got a lot of lamels in the grill, like you sometimes have with the Audis, or some honey kind of shape, hard to reach areas in and around the wheel. And then we've got one set left that I want to show you. The soft car detailing interior and exterior brush set. So one very soft, an ultra soft one that you can use for, let's say, the high gloss black piano finishes. Then we've got a little bit harder one for the exterior use, tank filler caps, grills, license plates. And then we've got a very soft one for the interior, window frames, door steps, etc., dashboard, for example. So then you can have, let's say, from all the applications, one brush in one set. And you're good to go. So I hope this video with the detailing brushes guides you a little bit what purpose you can do and what applications you can do with what brush, and also maybe in what order. As mentioned in the beginning of the video, a while ago we made a video completely from the detailing flow chart, from, let's say, the pre-wash until the finishing and all steps included the polishing in between. Yeah, and that video may be also helpful for you to detail in a sensible and a logical manner, to not waste time but use your time wise and efficiently. Yeah, and with that, make sure your detailing process goes as efficient and clean as possible with perfect results, and make your customers happy. So as said in the beginning, I'm going to end this video that good sets of detailing brushes are very important in your detailing arsenal. And if you don't have them or don't have them enough, you know why, because these are the kinds of actually cheap and easy kind of products that if you don't have them, they will slow down your process a lot. If you got some questions, feel free to write them here below. You can email us, and also you can sign up for training. We just launched some new dates on the website, which we also going to use the brushes a lot in. So I hope you like this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys and girls in the next one. Bye-bye.